Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. I want to share an awesome success story that I intend is going to inspire a lot of you. If you aren't inspired by success stories that's come up recently under some videos, if you're triggered by it, it's because you don't trust in the process and you're not trusting in yourself. This has nothing to do with your specific person or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. It's simply a self-concept issue that you need to look at. It's foundational, and it's very important that you do have a deep foundational understanding and a strong, grounded footing in understanding your power and understanding what your reality actually is. And that if you desire something deep down, that desire itself is the promise of the wish fulfilled, and it already exists. The circumstances that you believe is the problem that stands in between you having whatever it is that you want, whether it's the money, the health, the love, the relationship, or even with your specific person, your mirror soul. The circumstance itself doesn't matter. It just doesn't. And whatever needs to happen will happen. It will handle itself. That's not your job. Your only job, your one and only job is to learn and understand who you are, who the divine messengers in your life are to you, trust in that, and realize what your life actually is. When you step back and focus more on that, then you won't have such a hard time. You won't be triggered as much. Okay. But also, being triggered and spiraling is part of the awakening process. So also you want to take it easy on yourself. It's like be gentle with yourself, love yourself through the triggers, but don't allow the triggers or the fear around your manifestation to get a hold of you. Okay. Anyway, this is going to be an inspirational video. So let me read this now. Before I do read it further, if you love me, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps my channel grow, and I do appreciate you for that. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest your SP back or anything else in your reality, email a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Go to my website, coreunion.com, book whatever you want to book, and then my scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so I'm going to read this now. And again, I intend that this is going to inspire you not to give up on your specific person, your mirror soul, your true love, but to make sure that you are persisting in your new story dominantly. Okay. All right. So let me read this. So she wrote, "Hey, Kim, I'm so happy to share this story with you. I've commented on a few of your videos in the past. You probably won't remember, but I told you that you've made manifesting my mirror soul back so much fun. I don't feel ashamed to sleep in his shirt. And I also asked if it was okay for me to say he's my boyfriend. I think I also said mirror souls make so much sense to me because we share the same triggers and mirror them to each other, and we have similar life stories. So I'm sorry that this email is so long. I don't expect you to reply or even read it. I just really wanted to share this with someone who understands and who's helped me so much. Your videos are amazing. Anyway, I wanted to tell you something sweet. From my childhood, I always knew that I had a soulmate. I don't know why, I just knew. And this is the same with me too. Like when I was, 4 or 5 years old, I was singing to my mirror soul. When I was 14 years old, my parents and I traveled to southern Italy, and we stayed there for a couple of weeks. I felt like I was home. I remember telling my parents, someday I'll live here. And I know that my husband is Italian, and they just laughed at me and thought I was being silly. Fast forward to 2022. I was coming out of a very bad relationship. It was very toxic. My ex-husband was verbally and physically abusive, and I know that I manifested that. Anyway, I started writing a book, and one of the male characters had a very specific feature, had very specific features when I was creating the character, right down to his eye colors, his eye color. And I asked myself, what's the most beautiful eye color? And for me, that was amber. And it just so happens that my mirror soul Hana's eyes are amber. He also had similar childhood experiences that I did, this character that she was writing. In the story, though, there was so much passion, humor, and shared interests between the characters. So then in real life, I started to get these intense feelings of missing Italy. I went to my parents' house and I looked at old holiday pictures, and I put up a photo of that on my bookshelf, and it made me so happy. Then one day I got a notification on Instagram that someone had just started following me. This was my mirror soul. He happened to be from Italy. The moment that I saw him, he was all I could suddenly think about. I noticed him everywhere all of a sudden on social media and in my head. I couldn't stop thinking about him and I couldn't take my eyes off of him, even though technically at that point in my life, he wasn't quote unquote my type. I learned later that in his mind, he was thinking, this is way too good to be true. I know I'm not good enough for this girl. So one day I sent him a message asking, where in Italy are you from? And from that moment on, we spoke every single day. It was like we had always known each other. It was just immediate, the connection. The funny thing is, and this is something crazy because this was something that, happened with me and my mirror soul too as we were getting closer. We were talking about our eye colors and sent each other close up pictures of just our eyes. We did that too. It's so funny. And again, now as it turns out, he has amber eyes, the most beautiful amber eyes. He said the same about mine. Yep. And that was the first time that we said, I love you. This is so beautiful. So we started dating. And when we saw each other in person for the first time, it was like magic. I can't explain how it felt, exciting yet so normal at the same time. Yes, perfect. You said that perfectly. Every inch of me just loves everything about him, and he feels the same. Yes, 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 and yes. We traveled back and forth constantly, and long distance was never a problem because we were always in contact. We have very similar life stories, things that we both went through as kids, things around our pets, and even friends and names. There were so many similarities, and yet, excuse me, and yes, similar triggers too. Yep. We talked about me moving there. And then the old stories started to creep in. Oh, excuse me. We ended up triggering each other a lot. So I ended up going to EMDR therapy over time, and it helped. But I also started watching 3D relationship coaches and law of attraction videos, which is not a good combo. No, it's not a good combo at all. I felt like I had to stay in high vibes all the time and not feel anxious about our attachment styles, which the attachment styles also is something you shouldn't be focusing on, but I know you know that. But anyway, so guys, remember not to put labels of attachment styles on you or your person, okay? Because at the end of the day, you want to see that the two of you guys are stable with each other, period. So stability. So, throw attachment style theories out of the window. Okay. All right. So I did manifest him back, but then I got sick with a throat infection. This is so familiar because the same thing happened to me. I had no energy to write my gratitude journal because I had a fever and wasn't sleeping well. I fell down and my thoughts spiraled back to his attachment style. And boom, he suddenly said, this is enough. It ended with me crying and saying, I can't do this anymore. I'll always love you, but I need to move on and start dating others, which I thought I needed to say. This is so, this is, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because this is almost textbook. It's like, okay, he got super mad and said, okay, no need to say that, but fine. I will too. Have fun with your dates. Gotta go. I was done. I removed him from my Instagram followers and I stopped following him. I knew that this wasn't us. Then your videos started showing up on my feed. I began watching them and there was something so warm and calm about you. Your energy made me happy. Oh, I'm happy that's sweet. I recorded my own affirmations and looped them 3 times a day, and I still do. I started having inner conversations with my mirror soul, and suddenly they became fun. No more fighting in my head, just joy and laughter. I sleep in his t-shirt, imagining different fun and loving scenes between us. Every night I fall asleep talking to him, imagining our cats cuddling together and us lying in bed. Perfect. Now I dream of him, dreams that feel incredibly real. In one dream, I was in a car with him. I turned around and in the back seat there was a little boy. He laughed and said, Daddy is funny. Oh God, that's cute. I looked at my mirror soul and he was smiling, happy. I put my hand on his thigh and said, You're my beautiful man. Then I woke up and damn, that dream felt so real. I put our photos back up. I started revising my past, meditating, doing yoga every morning, and before bed, going to the gym and painting AI art. She is doing all of the right things. I also started trying new healthy protein post workout recipes. And the most amazing thing, I stopped blushing from anxiety. I feel confident now. I went from being nervous in a break room to dancing at work. I started affirming I am seen, I am heard, I am respected. Suddenly, people smile at me more. Coworkers tell me I'm important. And even my face looks softer and more radiant. This is amazing. Then I had another idea. I wanted to start my blog again. I love writing and I felt pulled towards it. So I restarted my cooking blog, making it private at first. I told some friends on Instagram about it. And every time I finished writing, I felt this deep, strong sense that my mirror soul was proud of me. Then I realized, oh, he's still subscribed to my channel. I asked myself, am I making this video hoping he'll contact me? I had to go within, and my soul said, do it because you love it. So I did. 2 days later, I was taking out the trash before work, and I thought, the air smells like it did when we had happy moments together. Then I felt this energy so strongly that I actually stopped walking, and I felt him say, I'm coming home, baby. Later that day on my coffee break, I saw a message from him. I just wanted to congratulate you on your video. It was so funny. You were so good at this. Don't stop. Then he apologized for texting me and he wished me a good day. I had no idea that he kept my number. I thanked him and I stayed in my wife energy, as you teach, and casually mentioned my blog. He replied, well, I've been reading your blog secretly for a while now. I actually always wait for your next post. I keep your blog bookmarked. My jaw dropped. I just knew it was done. We started our silly banter again, laughing like we always do. Later, he sent me a message about an achievement in a science fiction game that we used to play together, and I congratulated him. Now I keep going to the end, trusting. I see signs everywhere, his name, the numbers, things around being made in Italy, even inside jokes that come up randomly. Kim, you are the best teacher ever. I've learned so much from you. I feel so peaceful, happy, creative, and free. And I know my 3D will catch up. Thank you for everything you do. Sending you a huge virtual hug and so much love. When you pull yourself out of the darkness, out of the fear, the limiting beliefs, out of the old story, out of the circumstances, and you maintain a sense of peace within yourself, and you only see the best in you, the best in your person through and by just imagining this beautiful dynamic. And as I explain in all my videos, and as she has, like, a lot of laughter, fun, passion, good times, joy. Okay, you want to really kind of stay in that dynamic. Lots of yummy cuddles, kisses, things that it doesn't even matter if you would actually do these things or not. I've explained before so many times that just because you're visualizing something doesn't mean that in the 3D, that's exactly how it's going to unfold. It can be very different, but it's the implication that you want to focus on. It's so you want to kind of step out of the longing and the yearning and the fearful love and into this peaceful, loving, exciting, easy flowing, fun, passionate relationship. And if you would, I promise you guys this, for a lot of you who's like, I don't have to believe, I don't need to feel it. Um, Listen, I promise you, I swear to you, this entire middle process will be much more enjoyable and you will actually feel free. You'll feel liberated from your fears. You'll begin to have this inner glow, inner strength, inner peace, and inner calm come over you if you stay remained focused on yourself in this loving and healthy way, just as she outlined in her success story. And then you will actually learn that while you were healing, they were healing. While you were knowing your value and worth, they're knowing their value and worth. While you're thinking about them, they've been thinking about you. While you've been seeing signs and synchronicities about them, they've been seeing signs and synchronicities about you. Listening to music, they're hearing songs, blah, 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 blah. All of it. It's all the same. But you just have to stop worrying about searching for proof of it. Your 3D never, ever, ever is your proof. Your 3D is always, always, always just a reflection of you, of what is your dominant assumption and belief. Okay. So the best way to change your assumptions and beliefs is to do what I teach in all of my videos, do what I describe that my clients do when I come on with success stories. If you're triggered by things, you have to recognize you're triggered because you're really not knowing your power. You're not understanding what's going on. And that's all that it is. So instead of just consuming content of trying to get something that's already yours, learn who you are and learn how to love yourself. Okay. All right. Please do affirm down below. I am going to remain in trust and faith of my end, and reach out to me if you need me. Thank you so much for sending me in your success story. It was super inspirational and absolutely adorable. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.